This is Bob Capetta, Professor of Mathematics at College of DuPage. This video is an introduction to Math 1102, Math for Health Sciences, for the spring semester of 2015. You'll notice I'm on the Blackboard page, which has some information. We're going to want to use the various tabs to determine what we need to know. So the first one I'm going to click on is Instructor Contact Information. And there's a picture of me. And I'm relatively easy to locate. Certainly the easiest way is to contact me via email. That way I can check it at various times. And the information is there, capetta@cod.edu. If you have any questions or comments about the course, please use that email address. I do tend to take many questions by phone during my office hours, and the phone number is there. I will have you submit assignments, and I have a relatively limited amount of space on my COD email, so I prefer that all assignments be submitted to the Gmail account listed below. So you'll be submitting answers to weekly quizzes as well as take-home exams, and the final paper. I would like all of those submitted at the Gmail account. So let's take a look at how the course works. I'm going to click on the Course Information button. That's where I tend to put the information for each week, and let's take a look at what we have for week number 1. And we'll see what we have here. So week number 1 is January 14th to January 19th. It's a little bit of a short week, given that we started on Wednesday, although everything here should be review. So you'll notice what we have is we have a collection of files that are videos. This is an online class, and I think it's important for you to see me actually working out mathematics problems. So we will have a handful of videos each week, usually 4 or 5. First week has a few more. I will shortly show you how to actually access these and use them. Now, you will be completing homework primarily in the textbook, the Deborah Castillon textbook. So if you don't have that, please get that as soon as possible. The information that I have here discusses that, namely complete the Chapter 1 test on page 27 and the Chapter 2 test on page 68. If you're really struggling with those tests, you can go back and do some of the questions in this section to help you get up to speed. Of course, please check your answers on page 280 and 283. I would like you to complete the attached quiz. So you'll notice the attached quiz is up on top, Math 1102 Quiz 1. I have both a PDF and a Word document, so it'll be easier for you to determine which one you're going to want to use. Now, as you do these quizzes, I'll go ahead and I'll open it up here. I would like you to download and print them and then show all of your work on the quiz. So you'll notice there's several problems here that you can look at, you can work on. So download and print these, show all of your work on the quiz, but I'm not going to collect the quizzes until the midterm exam. But to make sure that you're doing okay, I want you to always email the solutions to me. So in this case, there's, I believe, 24 or 25 questions. You're going to email those solutions to me at the Gmail address, and that enables me to see that you are progressing appropriately. And if you make any errors, I will go ahead and tell you and have you fix those before you submit them to me at the midterm. So I'll collect the quizzes during the midterm exam, and I'll collect the quizzes during the final exam. So most weeks I give you some articles to read. So after doing the homework and quizzes, we'll get some articles that are relevant to our course. The first 4 articles are about succeeding in online classes. It requires a certain amount of maturity, persistence, good time management, etc. So to give you a greater chance to successfully complete the course, I'm going to ask you to read those 4 articles. And I also have a New York Times article about the importance of mathematics in medicine. This really is a life and death situation. If there are mathematical errors made, dosages can be wrong, and that can have some very serious health consequences. So I'd like you to read that short article as well. And then, in order us to collaborate, I want you to use the discussion board. So let me show you where the discussion board is. So we look on the side tab, and on this page it's called Discussion. And if I click on that, you'll notice I have Week 1 Introduce Yourself and Article Reviews, as well as Week 1 Homework and Quiz Discussion. So as you're working on the homeworks and quizzes, if you're having trouble, post some questions there and have your classmates look at those, and maybe they can give you some suggestions to help you get through your difficulties. And regarding the other part, I want you to give a brief introduction as well as tell me your reactions to those articles. So regarding the introduction, obviously tell us your name and tell us your major. I would like to encourage students to work together that are in similar majors, so we'll go about assigning some study groups. And finally, one thing in popular culture that you find interesting to help us understand a little bit more about you. And then, of course, discuss your opinions about the articles that are listed above. And finally, if you have trouble viewing the videos, I've asked you to post some comments discussing that difficulty depending on the platform you're using. I am a Macintosh user, so as you see the work I'm doing, maybe you can follow the same procedures I'm using. And then for my friends using different platforms, please share your successful strategies and how to view the videos. So let's go ahead and try to view the videos. The key to this is to have an updated version of Adobe Reader. So you'll notice I have the videos here in Course Information. I also have the videos located under the Video Lecture tab. So if I move that over, Video Lectures, click on that, and we'll wait for that to load. And the first thing I have is the hardware discussion. So you want to make sure that you have the latest version of Adobe. So go to this site, and if you're trying to use Flash, which really doesn't work very well on Macintosh, but if you're using a more traditional standard system, Windows system, you may want to go ahead and get the Flash viewer. Now when you click on the videos, you will likely see something like this. There is a screenshot that says click here to get the latest version of Adobe Reader. You will have the latest version of Adobe Reader. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download the video first and then open it in Adobe Reader. So I'll show you how I do that on my system. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos that I can look at here. If I click on one of them, maybe I'll do the last one, decimalwordproblems.pdf. Let's click on that and see what it looks like. And notice this is telling me that. What I'd like to show you, after it loads, there is an icon in the lower corner that unfortunately has disappeared. So I'll go ahead and do it a little faster this time, and we'll go ahead and download the file and then open it using Adobe Reader. So I'm going to click on a different one, and there's a little icon to the right of a computer disk that it looks like I missed that the second time. There it comes. The little computer disk. I'll click on that, and I'm going to save that somewhere on my computer called math1102 present conversion 1, since I've saved it before in my documents folder. So I'll click save there. So now I've actually saved it. Now I'm going to go ahead and open Adobe Reader. And from Adobe Reader, I am going to open that file. So I've done this, and I have that interesting looking thing. I click on this, and then if I hit play, you will notice what happens. In this lesson, we're going to look at how we can convert among fractions, decimals, and percents. So if we're looking at 2/5, that is a fraction. Can we express that as a decimal? Well, to do that, we recognize that means 2 divided by 5, or 5 into 2. 2, of course, means 2 point. How many zeros do we need? So the PDF videos should run on almost any computer, But again, you have to have the latest version of Adobe Reader, download the file first, open Adobe Reader, and then open the file while Adobe Reader is open. That is going to be your safest bet. For those of you using Windows, you may be able to actually have it play in Blackboard, but most of the time that's a little bit challenging. Okay, I'd like to go take a look at the syllabus. The syllabus is located here, so I will click on that. And I will open that file. And lots of information here. The name of the course, my name, my contact information again, the catalog description. If you are contacting me from out of town, phone or email is best. For those of you that are in town, hopefully you'll be able to stop by and see me during my office hours. So I've got those listed here, Monday 9 to 10, 11:30 to 1, and that's wrong. Sorry about that, but that was relatively easy to fix. This is the correct office hours, 11:30 to 1, 2 to 6 Monday, 2 to 4 Tuesday, 11:30 to 1, and 1 to 2 on Wednesday, 2 to 4 Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 on Friday. The textbook you'll need for this class is Mathematics for Help to Careers by Carol Castillon. You do not need the other books. The COD published book I've posted online, and I have written my own materials for statistics that I'll make available for you. Our grading, we have 2 take-home tests, a midterm exam, a final exam, final paper, as well as quizzes and participation. So you can see the weights that I have here. The first take-home test is Sunday, February 8th at 4 p.m. So I usually go to COD to pick those up, so please make sure they're on time. There need to be penalties if you are late. The midterm exam is scheduled for March 7th at 8:30 a.m. I will get a room soon. You can check back on the syllabus to see what that room will be. Take-home test 2 will be Sunday, April 12th at 7 p.m. And again, you can either scan and email those to me at math1635@gmail.com or drop them off at the Math Assistance Desk in SRC 2102. Final exam, Saturday, May 9th, again at 8:30 a.m. in that to-be-announced room. And if for some reason you can't make the midterm or the final, I'm happy to make accommodations, but they need to schedule earlier. I have students take the exam earlier if they're unable to take the exam at the scheduled time. We do have a final paper for this course that you'll learn about as we move along, basically discussing how mathematics is used in your field, and that is due on or before May 15th. That will be our last topic for this semester. If you are out of town, we are going to need to get you a proctor, so contact me and I will begin that process as soon as we can. Please don't miss any exams. If you miss a midterm or final and want to take a retake afterwards, I need to penalize you. So the policy is there. Incompletes are typically not given. The withdrawal date for this semester is April 16th, so please make sure you know whether or not you're going to stay in the course before that date. Math Assistance Center is where you can go for some tutoring assistance. That is in SRC 2102. That's where you drop off your papers if you're choosing to do that rather than emailing them. You need to participate. I need you to give me at least 1 discussion board post per week, preferably 2. 1 of your own posts as well as responding to a classmate's post. So as I determine your participation grade, I'll be looking at how often you use discussion boards. A couple things about student cooperation, academic integrity, and students with special needs. You can certainly read that on the syllabus. And then I have those keys to success in online classes here as well. So, what do you need to do? You need to take the course very, very seriously. Give it your best efforts. And I have every reason to believe that things should go well. I look forward to working with you. So I'll put my smiling face up here one more time so you can see what I look like when you're listening to my voice. Have a good semester, and by all means come in and see me and say hi sometime. Take care now.